Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Okay, that little message is going to fade away. We've got some new technology, so we're testing it out and we're going to see how it works. Thank you guys for hanging in there and being patient with all this stuff. Like I said a million times, I do this all by myself. You can tell, I'll show you how much crew is not here. See anybody else? And we'll come back over here and do you see anybody else? So what I've got is I've got a tracking system on the camera, and it's tracking me, just my face. So if I duck out of frame or it can't see me for a second, the camera's going to go, where the hell is he? So I'll try and keep it in frame and keep it smooth for you guys. Now the downside about this setup is I can't see the chat. So what I have over here is the iPad, and the iPad has been off for a couple of days. So, it just pops up messages. Hey, hey Liz. So of course the iPad wants an update. Of course, that's how it works. So when I do a still shot, or I want the camera to remain in position, I'll turn off the tracking, but I figured it would be kind of a little bit better if you guys can sort of see what I'm going to be doing in here. And okay, the iPad's updating. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to get out of frame really quick and the camera's going to look for me. And then it can't find me until I come back into frame. So you can trick it. Still waiting on that sponsorship. So I'm going to try and trick it again really quick. Okay. So, now it totally lost me. Do you guys remember what we had in here with that relay board that was made from 5/8 plywood and put together in probably half an hour? We're going to get rid of that, and we have a new relay box that's half the size of a cereal box. So I'm going to grab a couple of lights. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the car. You can kind of tell right now that it's sort of here. If I go down, the camera will follow me down. It's kind of up a little bit. So we're going to lower the car down so it's a little easier to work with. And so you guys can see what the hell's going on in here. So we'll just go up to the front of the car. The other thing I want to do is I don't know if you guys can see it going down. Oh, wait a sec. I think we might have an Amazon box in the way over here. We will just get out of the way. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have anything else. This is a nice reasonable height, but we're going to keep going down because there was something I noticed under there when I was doing the gas tank. And we're all the way down. Now, if you guys are curious what it looks like all the way down, this is all the way down. The tire tucks absolutely perfect. The 275's in the back. I still have a finger's width here, which is really nice. Got really lucky. Come back here, camera. I got really lucky with getting the tire size correct. So the other thing, when the airbags inflate, there's a post on the axle, a little indent that the airbag sits in. When the airbag inflates, or when it's totally deflated like now, it'll sit up on that just a little bit. And sometimes it's not perfectly aligned and it won't go in the cup. The divot doesn't go in the cup that it's supposed to. And I noticed that on both of those. I'm working on a solution for that. I think a small cable to make sure that it aligns backwards. It never goes backwards. It always goes forward. So if I have a cable at the bottom of the cup that brings it, that holds it in line, that'll help going all the way up and down. The downside is I got to have that stupid cable on there. But I think that's going to be a pretty easy solution for making sure those airbags stay on their cups. They could slip off, but it would be really hard, and I would rather have them align perfectly. Let me grab some lights. We got this guy who's been on charge. And I'm going to try not to blind you guys with all this stuff. And on this guy, because the charger doesn't work anymore, thanks Harbor Freight, we swap out batteries, which is actually too many cables in the way here, which is actually pretty close to just plugging the damn thing in. And we have some aftermarket batteries so that we always have spare batteries for all of the shop lights. And these are great lights. I've had these for years, and I'm very happy with them. So I'm going to move some of the gas tank stuff out of the way because I don't want to trip on it. I'm going to bring you guys in here closer so you can see the absolute horror show that we're working with here. All right, iPad is restarting. So what does it say? Your iPad's been updated. Good. So I'm going to try and go into YouTube and see if I can just do the nope, hang on. Close out settings, close out the App Store. I need to go into YouTube Studio. Okay. And I'm working on it. Hang on, I haven't done this before, so I don't know where the hell it is. Settings, switch account. Nope. And it'll let me upload videos, but there's nothing else. Nothing else for me to use in here. So content, it just has waiting on parts, community, nope. So let's go. Oh my gosh, this is so difficult. When your fingers don't work the YouTube thing correctly. So okay, so if I go to this, oh, and it's going to feed back, and I'm sorry. Let me volume down on this. Okay, so if I go to this, oh, it's going to feed back. I'm sorry. Let me volume down. It's not going to feed back. Hang on. Where do I get chat out? Hang on. I'm still working on it. It's not going to feed back. All right, we're not going to feed back because the volume's all the way off. No, that's not what I want. Where did it go? Sorry, you guys, I'm working on this. This is all brand new to me. There's no way to do just chat. So I'm working on it. Hang on. It's not anything I want. There's no way to just have the chat up. It will always have the main screen for the video too. If I do that, it goes to full screen. I don't want that. And settings, the lock screen, nope. Hang on, we're there. We're getting there. Loop video, nope. Timer. All right. I'm clicking on live chat and it won't let me go. iPad test message. Okay, so I'll just do test. And it comes through there, but it blocks. There's no way to do the live chat. I can't make it, whoa. Sorry, you guys. I can't make it full screen, which is kind of difficult. I'll show you what I've got here, just so you can kind of see. I have the video, and then down here in this little lower corner, I just have the chat. And I was trying to get it to fill the screen, but it won't do it. And there's an option to do live chat, but when you click on it, nothing happens. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. We'll get into, we'll play more with that. This is working fine for now, the video. Hopefully the audio is okay too. We'll do, I'll figure out how to do just chat in a screen somehow. Figure it out. We'll get into this. This is going to be very simple and quick for removing this board. And let's get to it. Let me grab my Rockstar. And then we can, come on. There you go, buddy. All right. Let's get to it. I'm going to bring you guys over into the trunk, and you can sort of see what we're doing here. I'm going to have to move Rolly stool. And we'll get you guys back here. So you can see the relay board here. And this is what we're going to be removing. This is really bad. I mean, this was done absolutely quick and dirty and nasty. First thing we're going to do is over here, we have our battery maintainer, our no-code genius, which we can take off. We're going to remove power to that relay board. Don't want power running to it at all while we're messing around with cutting wires and all this other stuff. Do not want power to it. So we're going to remove power here. And I'm also not going to remove power from up. We do have power from up front. No, we don't have any power from up front. All the power comes from here to that relay board. So we're going to remove power. On this car, I have quick release. These are super handy when you're working on cars because they just, whoa, hey, that guy just totally came apart. He is for, oh, because he's not supposed to be together. These guys are great for when you're testing on cars because you can clamp onto the battery quick. You have a good solid clamp, ground or positive. And then, all right, well, I need to do some stuff. I'm just going to unclip it I don't need any tools or anything else to unclip it. Eventually, these will get really nice clamps on them, but for now, for testing stuff, these work great. And also for safety, if you have something that you're worried is going to spark or whatever, these are great for yanking stuff apart. So now we have, this guy's wrapped up in here. We have no power to the relay board. Our positive and negatives are off. That's it. Safety second, right? So now we can start cutting all the stuff off of the relay board and get it physically out, because we don't need any of this stuff in here. So with this, the way they wired this up is really very odd. So you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it. They have, for the positive terminal, they have one red wire. They also have a black wire, which turns into two black wires. So now you have some of your positives are black wires, which also go with your negatives, which are all black. Now, how the hell do you know which one is which when you get all the way down there? This is really shoddy wiring. This is not very good wiring. So this is some other stuff that we're going to take care of. They did the reverse on the license plate actuator. They actually ran two positive wires. They ran two reds when one is a much smaller gauge black and the other one is a much smaller gauge red. I don't know why. They obviously have a shit ton of wire. They just chose not to use the right colors. So let's grab some industrial wire cutters, and I will clip my hip on that if I don't close it. And we can start cutting wires out of this thing. Now, the only thing we're going to keep is our door popper module. And this module is for opening the doors. Ba-blink, ba-blink. So I'm going to try and get in here, make sure I'm getting the right wire from the right terminal. And there's our positive on that side. Now, I have no clue. This one is labeled positive, but that's obviously my marking. That's my tape from a while ago. And we'll take him out of there as well. I mean, this is a disaster. This is a ground, and I have the other one marked as a ground as well. This is just huge. This says negative something powered. So we're going to kind of save as much halfway decent wire as we can. Okay. Next up, we have this, which comes from the positive on the opposite side of the relays. So now we have almost all of our main wires from this removed. Okay. Whoops. Yep, that was one. And then this is our negative. So now we have all of our stuff from our positive and negative removed. So we'll keep this off to the side. Now, the next thing we have to do is remove our module for the door poppers. And these are wired kind of, we did them very quick. Hey, fuse holder, bonus. We wired these up very quick one night. My friend Chris came in here and kicked ass. We got all of this stuff wired up in about an hour, which was great. So we have our other red. which, where'd my cutters go? We can cut right out of there. And we have our other yellow, which we can also cut right out of there. Okay. We have our black, which we have unhooked. And we have our pink that goes into this relay box. But since we're using a new relay box, we're just going to pull the pink out of there. We're also going to pull our red and white out of there. I'll try and save the connector because those guys are crimped in there pretty nice. All right, so that should be everything from, that's our antenna. These are all the connections for our door poppers. And of course, we'll split loom this and make it really nice. It'll go on the same plate that our new relay box goes on. So they'll go kind of side by side. Well, sorry. They'll go side by side like this, or probably top and bottom, something like that. Way better than looking at this, right? So we have our popper out, and oh, you're wondering what controls the popper? That's this guy. So these are the keys to the Cadillac. Of course, they're gold keys. It has the cutest little remote. This is a button for a push button start. And then these are for, or actually you can program for anything. These are for, again, whatever you want to program them for. I have number 1 for the driver's side door, number 2 for the passenger side door. 3 and 4 are still open. But my favorite part of this remote, come on, how awesome is that? That's so badass. Anyway, and the door poppers, since the doors are extremely heavy, I had to get the heavy duty door poppers. Oh, there's stuff happening in chat. Audio and video going well. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's get the rest of our stuff cleaned out of here. And our relay board. So this positive does come from the front, and we have not unhooked our battery. So we're going to, where'd it go? If you don't, whoa, sorry. If you don't have electrical tape in your shop, I can't help you. The good stuff is Scotch, but you can also use Harbor Freight. This is great for temporary, you know, like what we're doing here. It's temporary stuff. So we're going to do one at a time. And I'm going to guess that's red. And then even though he's super protected here, I'm just going to give him a couple of swipes with the tape. And same thing with the ground. Although the ground's not quite as important, we're just going to do the same thing. And then another thing you can do, since these are grouped together, when you cut them apart, you can tape them up together so that it's still a matched pair. You're like, oh, okay, this is a matched pair from front. These are actually switched, I believe. And what do we have left? What we have left is another positive here. And he just unhooked, but he's got a very bare connector on there. So we're going to tape him up. And you don't have to use 11 miles of electrical tape, especially if it's something that's very temporary. Just a couple of swipes should actually do it. And this guy, yeah, this is obviously switched because there's no spark. So and the difference between 3M tape and Harbor Freight electrical tape, you can actually feel it. You can see it and you can feel it. So what do we have here? Just a random green wire. All right, it's gone. What else do we have here? We have our old relay box, which we're not going to be using. And this guy, I believe, is still hot. Wait, where's this coming from? He is... All right, so we have a length. Whoa, when was my head up there? We have a nice length of wire here, and we're going to save it because he's red. So just give him a quick coil, and we'll set him aside. That's a good score. We'll put him up with the other relay box. We can hang out there. This guy can get set aside. This guy. Now see, this is what I'm talking about with like crazy wiring. So this is a 14 gauge wire. This is a really thick black wire going to a red wire, and there's heat shrink on here, but what the hell does it go to? It doesn't go anywhere. There's another piece over here, and this is a 16 gauge. So they're different gauges, and they're both supposed to be negatives, but they're two different colors. This is why wiring is such a horror show. When someone else does stuff and they do it B-team level, you're driving yourself crazy. So we have this guy, and he is a ground wire. He's going to stay with that. We are totally clear on the board, but I want to get the rest of these wires done. So we're going to cut off this and wrap his end up really quick. And then also, this is another one. I don't know why they're not using a ground wire. This is red and black, if you guys can see that. But it's like they ran out of black wire, so they just started using red. So this should actually be a ground. And what's funny is it's confusing because they're using the correct gauge to go this distance from the front to the back, because there was never a battery in the back here. But they're not using the correct color, which is, I mean, it's really frustrating if you're trying to wire something up. You're like, hey, where's the ground? All of these are red. The whole purpose of doing color. And then these are a match set, kind of. So we're going to tape them together so a little easier to move around. Okay. That set goes there. This set we can trim this end off of because he's just a big chunk of crap. It should never look like that. You should never have a red wire going to a black wire with another black wire. You should never have a gigantic bulk thing like this. That's not pro. I don't even know if that's B-team work. So wrap up this ground really quick. The other reason to wrap it up, and especially if you're in Ohio, is to prevent corrosion, because this stuff will corrode almost immediately. It is copper and it can corrode very quickly. So we have our two sets of wires coming from there. I believe both of those are switched. This is our old speaker wire. Apparently there was a big subwoofer in here at one time. apparently. No one told me. So I think we're done with our wire cutters for now. I have a 9-volt there. I don't know why. I'm done with the tape as well. So that is everything. This relay block, we're going to come back here. This relay block, we're going to keep. He's interchangeable. How does he come apart? Oh, he slides apart this way. So you can have individual relays, or you can just tag on 6 or 8 relays. If you need a relay somewhere else, these are very handy to have. Most of our stuff is going to come to the back or to the front. So, you know, we don't really need these, but they're helpful to have. These ones also have the eye bolt in them, or the tab in them, so you can bolt them anywhere. They can be handy if you're trying to put something really close to something. So we'll hang on to these just kind of as spare parts. I'm going to cut off this garbage here, though. I mean, this. Come on, you guys. So it's a little cleaner. We still have our connector on this end. So we'll save this part. It's worth saving. Some stuff is just garbage. And I believe that's it. So our relay board is officially out. Now these relays, some of them were, I don't know if you can read them. Some of them were labeled. The air compressor, they had a regular old air compressor in here, a water pump, and a something 8-channel BRNH. I don't know what that is. And then the door solenoids. So this was their controller, like we have, but it's a much older version. And then this is the air compressor, this is the water pump. These are very small fuses, or small relays. So they have the correct size. Well, for the most part, they have the correct size wire in there. Just not what we're really looking to do. And their fuse block is technically 3 different ones put together. It's not very well done. I have no clue what XX or X or ZZ or what. I have no clue what any of that shit means. This thing is all gone. Like I said, this could be done in half an hour. And it looks like it from the back. It looks like a piece of scrap wood, right? They're obviously drilled a shit ton of holes here, and they were using this as a hole punch stop, and they didn't trim any of the screws on the back here. So if you get a wire that just rubs through here, it'll ground out or short out. So yeah, not a very good design at all. I'm sure it worked for the 100 feet that they needed for the music video, but also it's heavy as hell. It's got to be 3 pounds. I mean, it's pretty thick plywood. So into the garbage it goes. I have no use for any of this stuff. Can literally, I'm not even taking it over to the spare pile. I'm going to put it over here with going to garbage. And I'm going to clean up some of the other stuff that's in here. The bigger stuff. So hopefully you guys bear with me. What is that mount bolt for? Oh, that's the exhaust. Those clowns. So yeah, this is, spare airbag. If you guys are curious about what the airbags look in the car, this is one of the airbags, fully deflated. I mean, I can't really make it smaller. When it inflates, it goes about 7 inches taller, about 8 inches taller. It's the air line that goes in here, and it inflates. You have a mount at the bottom and 2 mount holes at the top. It's the same ones they use in like dump trucks, stuff like that. So we don't need it in the trunk. It came down. That's one of our spare good ones. So it came down with the rest of the stuff as a spare, which is a good thing. So Our trunk has most of the big stuff cleared out. I'll vacuum in here and get some of the dust and dirt and all the garbage and crap that's been in there. Hi. Okay, there you go. This is all the stuff that was just kind of laying in there. I'm going to grab this stuff too, since it's all garbage. We'll save the fuse holder. Those are handy. These little fuse holders are actually handy in a pinch. I'm not a big fan of bus fuses in cars, but they can work. All of this stuff. You know what? We're going to save this 14 gauge ground wire, because he's a big mamma jamma, and for grounding you like nice big thick wires. That is the end of that. So these guys are just going in the garbage. All gone. Bye-bye. And you guys can't see me here. I'll bring you over and you can watch me delete the... It's kind of a tight fit over here. So you guys can watch me delete this thing. Hang on. There we go. And into the garbage. We're done. This is all limo stuff, by the way. This is the gas tank. So you guys can't see this though. So it's the gas tank that is all truck bed linered. The grill, the other seat, the pumps, it's all right here next to the car. So good one, right? Oh, there's more comments and stuff. Hang on. Everything's popping up here and I'm not paying attention. Oh, message retracted and it will not be missed. No, that will not be missed. When you compare it to what's going in there, it's it's amazing. And it feels really good to have that out of there. So I'm very excited to have that thing out. It's been a long time coming. We did use the relays for the door poppers, but the relays, I mean, I'll just give you an example. And you saw the relays in the other one, right? So how does this open? I don't know how this box opens. Is it just tight? Oh, it's a really tight fit. So we'll be using, sorry, I'm looking over at the iPad. We'll be using these relays and these connectors instead. These fuses instead of that gigantic board. And these are all 40 amp, if I'm not mistaken, they're all 40 amp relays. And what are the fuses? 20, 10, and 40 on fuses. So, or sorry, 25. What the hell? Why did it go angular all of a sudden? Hang on. What happened? Sorry. Hang on. I don't know what happened there. Whoa. Jesus. Okay. There we go. Whoa. I have no idea what happened. That thing just crapped out and like fell over. So yeah, let me move this and that might help it. So yeah, this is a way cleaner solution than what was in there. He's a lot more water resistant. He's not totally waterproof, but he's much better covered. There's no chance of it grounding out on back. I got great mounting holes, so I can kind of put this wherever I want. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. And I'm sure the door popper controller is going to be a lot happier too. And considering how much this car is going to weigh, this is a big step. Because if you take 3 pounds out of the car, that's a very, very good thing. So that's it for tonight. Again, we've got parts coming in tomorrow. We have our new fuel sending unit. Oh. Dog for a walk. Yeah, it was crooked. I'm sorry, that wasn't me. That was the gimbal that's following me. It just went boop. So yeah, sorry. Our fuel sending unit should be here tomorrow, which means we can put the gas tank back in. We can put gas in it and get it off these ramps and get it past the 90% in my garage, which sucks. I hate having it like this. I'm sure my neighbors hate me having it like this, but this is what's necessary to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the air compressors and I'm going to jack it back up so that we can put the gas tank back in a lot easier. We being me, because remember how many people aren't here. And so we'll have the gas tank in there, and then tomorrow night we'll either do the fuel sending unit and installing the gas tank, or the relay box with the door poppers. I think I'm going to go get a source. I'm going to find a piece of plastic, or I prefer plastic just because of all the water and moisture in this thing. Just a plastic plate to mount that, to get a mount plate for maybe even just a piece of Lexan. Although yeah, I guess Lexan would work. Just it always cracks on me. I hate that shit. I'll find something. A nice piece of PVC plastic, a nice thick piece would work out really well. And we'll get that relay box mounted and the door poppers mounted. Much, much cleaner install. Much cleaner install. And then we'll get that battery hooked back up. And also, originally we had the battery on that side because we had all of our positives. We will have a second battery on this side. So I'll do temporary, well, I probably won't do temporary wiring. I should just go get another damn battery and box and put it on this side, because we're going to have 2 batteries and boxes in here anyway, right? So that might happen. I'll get this cleaned up and we'll do fuel tank, or we'll do relays and door poppers tomorrow night. So hopefully you guys like this. It was, it feels good to get rid of that stuff. It really does. Really does. I like getting rid of B team stuff and making it A team again. So yeah, that's the plan. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. And again, I apologize for the delay. I'll figure out the chat stream and doing it with the iPad. So it might just be better. Well, if you guys like the following, if you like how the camera follows me, then I'll keep doing this and I'll figure out how to do a full screen chat on the iPad. If you guys don't really care, then I might just switch over to the iPad, because it's a lot easier for me to see how the shot is set up and how, what you guys are saying, depth of field, all that other stuff. So you guys tell me which one you like. If you want me to change between the two, we can do that too. I'm trying to get you guys the best view possible of all the crazy stuff that we're doing. So I'll keep going. As long as you guys like it, that's all that matters. Thanks again for hanging out tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, do 10 jumping jacks, whatever it is. And I appreciate you guys. I love seeing the new subscribers pop on. That's always really cool. And don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will catch you tomorrow. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Get that thing out of here. Feels so good. So good. Oh, look at that shot. Oh, of course.